Concepts in payroll configuration. Pay scale process. Payroll process in SAP calculates the remuneration for work done by individuals. It includes a variety of work processes such as creation of payroll results, creation of remuneration statements, undertaking bank transfer transactions, as well as making sure payments for payroll related activities are made by checks. The pay scale structure is formed consisting of pay scale level, pay scale area, pay scale group, and pay scale type. Pay scale type is a two-character key defined for each region, whereas pay scale area indicates geographic regions to which a particular collective agreement provisions applies or a pay scale applies. Now let us see what is pay scale group. Pay scale group, on the other hand, schedules indirect valuations and job evaluations and are divided into pay scale levels while defining the job levels. Wage type. Wage type is a type used to control the payroll program and is a type used to supply payments and deductions to an employee's payroll. The two main characteristics or categories of wage type are primary or dialogue wage type and secondary or technical wage type. The primary wage type is according to the requirements of the organization are standard wage types defined by SAP, indicated by info type 1012. Secondary wage types start with a slash as its first character and is defined during payroll processing and not made part of employees' master data. The wage type characteristics are minimum and maximum wage type amount, amount included or not in base pay, operation indicator, validity period, indirect valuation, and its characteristics. There are basically two valuation types for wage types, namely direct valuation and indirect valuation. Indirect valuation, the amount for valuating the wage type is directly entered in the info type. And in indirect valuation, the wage type amount is calculated and entered. Indirect valuation is done on the following info types, namely basic pay 0008, recurring payments 0014, and additional payments 0015. Tariff mode indirect valuation uses pay scale data from pay scale group and pay scale area, which is entered directly to the basic pay info type. The decision tree LGMST features is a feature actually. The decision tree LGMST feature defaults wage type for basic pay info type 0008. It returns 1. Maximum number of wage types in basic pay info type used in the system, and 2. Current model of wage type used by the SAP HCM system. Retroactive accounting. When a payroll is repeatedly run across different durations of the payroll, it is retroactive accounting. Numerous personal calculation rules are used during this payroll process whereby different time management and payroll related tasks are codified. It is defined as a type of work instruction which does individual actions based on existing conditions. Personal calculation rules are made up of one decision tree, and one or more operations which are aligned to the decision tree may also span over one or more personal subareas. Wage type groups. Wage type groups are actually nothing but a logical grouping of all wage types and may be one of the many different wage groups, namely basic pay, which is 0008, recurring payments or deductions, which is 0014, additional payments, which is 0015, and employee remunerations, which is 2010. Next is payroll period. A payroll period are formed for every combination or grouping together of period parameter and date modified as assigned to a payroll area. The period parameters in SAP payroll indicates the salary period calculations, whether monthly, bi-monthly, weekly or annually. Normally, period parameters are assigned to various payroll areas which has payment dates defined by date modifiers. For example, the date modifier 01 signifies payment date on 1st of the month, 02 signifies 15th of the month, 03 signifies 25th of the month. Functions exist in a payroll area that are necessary for a payroll. Sometimes these functions group the personal numbers that are taken up for payroll processing on the same date and determines a payroll period. Payroll control record. A payroll control record allows one to administer payroll runs, which is payroll runs indicating for a payroll period, payroll status in an earlier payroll accounting period. The transaction code which is used to access payroll control account is PE03. The key features which is maintained by the SAP system for payroll control record are payroll period and accounting date, which is in the earlier personal retroactive account. The main uses of payroll control record are to define past payroll and about locking the payroll in order to prevent changes to occur while a particular payroll is run. Payroll results. SAP query and ad hoc query are both used to evaluate payroll results. Several info types are also available to evaluate payroll results, which are usually activated by wage types. Logical database used for these purposes is PNP. The steps involved in creating a payroll results info type, which is info type 0402, are 1. Define evaluation wage type. 2. Automatically write payroll data depending upon the payroll info type assignment setup. 3. Assignment of evaluation wage type to payroll results info type. And 4. Assignment of evaluation wage type to one or more payroll results wage types. For posting the payroll results to an account, the following steps are used, namely 1. Define symbolic accounts. 2. Define posting feature or characteristic of wage type. 3. Maintain posting date for payroll periods. And 4. Assign expense and balance sheet accounts. For posting the payroll results to finance, the following steps are used, namely 1. Grouping wage types to general ledger account. 2. Assigning payroll to cost centers. And 3. Select wages as account payables or personal expenses or both. In simulation mode, when one runs the payroll period is not counted in the control record. There is no mechanism to release and exit payroll functions when in a simulation mode, and the master data remains unlocked. The results also is displayed in the payroll, and it's actually payroll log along with remuneration statements. However, upon release, that is after running release payroll function, locking of master data records happen as well as incrementing happens on a unitary basis for the payroll number. In payroll administration, the different composite roles that become available are 1. Payroll administrator, 2. Payroll process administrator, and 3. Payroll manager. The payroll administrator simulates the payroll, maintains time management data and HR or HCM master data, and checks payroll accounts and remuneration statement for each employee. Payroll process administrator posts payroll results to accounts, creates files for wage and salary payments, performs time evaluations, and creates remuneration statements. Payroll manager displays HCM or HR master data, personal files, payroll journal, and remuneration as well as payroll account. SAP system classes. Fundamentally, in SAP HCM, the important classes that are in existence in payroll configuration are cumulation classes, evaluation classes, and processing classes. In cumulation classes, wage types are stored in buckets where the wage type is indicative of /NN wage type. For instance, wage type 10 may be stored as /110 bucket, 11 in /111 bucket, and so on. Totally, SAP accounts for 100 or odd cumulation classes. In evaluation class, these class reports on payroll, and there are about 20 or odd evaluation classes in SAP HCM. In processing class, tax rate is determined based on wage type and adds them in year-to-date table or CRT table. There are about 100 processing clauses for a single wage type in SAP HCM. SAP system info types. It is in basic pay info type, which is info type 0008, that the remuneration structure is set up. Some of the wage types created in the basic pay info type are 1. Standard pay or basic salary, 2. HRA or house rent allowance, 3. LTA or leave travel allowance, and 4. Special payments. Some of the wage types created in recurring payments and deductions info type, which is 0014, are 1. Statutory deductions such as EPF or Employee Provident Fund, and ESI, which is Employee State Insurance. 2. Income tax and professional tax. Some of the wage types created in additional payments info type 0015 are 1. Bonus, 2. Incentives, 3. Overtime, and 4. Reimbursements and allowances. An employee can distribute his or her salary between 2 or more bank accounts by creating infotype records in infotype 0009. The secondary accounts are set up in infotypes with other banks, subtypes, and this distributes his or her salary in his or her other accounts.